Hi there, this is Jane here from Crystal Sparkles Readings. I'm just here to pop down our card for the day. We're using the black and white Faulkner deck as usual. So I'm just going to have a little shuffle of that. Let's see what we've got. Okay, let's see what our card for the day is. Okay, so our card for the day is the Eight of Swords. Now, the Eight of Swords talks about a lot of anxiety, and it talks about a bit of worry, really, and kind of feeling that that energy of being apprehensive and a bit scared and a bit worried about what's coming up. So the energy of today could be like that for us. Could be a little bit worrying, a little bit like we feel like we ought to be concerned about something, or we might know exactly what it is that's bothering us and worried about. If you have a look at the card though, the card is interesting because here's our lady who's clearly worried and scared and hiding behind the door. But when you look the other side of the door where she's hiding from, there's nothing there. So these are things that quite often we are worrying about, possibly unnecessarily. So it's our thought processes that are making this thing particularly scary for us. It's kind of one of those cards that talks about the actual apprehension and the worry about something is more scary than actually dealing with it, or actually when that thing happens. Or it might be you worrying about something that is never going to happen, you know. Could be worrying about something that hasn't happened yet. It's not very likely to happen. You're busy having a worry about what you're going to do about it, and it hasn't actually happened yet. So it kind of asks you not to project too far into the future and start worrying about loads of different stuff when it hasn't actually happened. So I think I've said this before recently. I often think this card is more about trusting yourself to be able to deal with whatever happens, if it does. Because once you trust yourself to be able to deal with it, then it quite often, you know, you trust yourself, so you don't need to worry quite so much. I'm just going to have a little shuffle of this other tarot deck. I've recently done an unboxing of this tarot deck. It's on my YouTube channel if you'd like to have a look at it. And it's the Animal Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue and Radleigh Valentine. So this is the first time I've used them on here. It's actually the first time I've used them at all. So bear with me. I'm learning them at the same time as you. We're all learning this together and having a look at this together. So let's have a little look and see what this tarot deck has to offer us to go with our slightly worrying energy of the Eight of Swords. But do bear in mind, what's behind that door is actually nothing. So it may well be that you're worrying unnecessarily if that's the energy that you're in today. So these beautiful cards. Okay, so we've got Polar Bear. And this is the Unity card, okay? So it's saying that embrace this time of great spiritual growth. You may feel called to act as a mentor or find a teacher or spend time with others who are also on a sacred path. This is very similar to the Hierophant in the Ordinary Tarot deck. It's represented here by a polar bear. Very, very cute. So we've got the Eight of Swords and then the Unity cards. So it's kind of saying to me, the story that this is telling to me is the Eight of Swords talks about a little bit of scaredness, a little bit of worry, a little bit of apprehensive energy. But the polar bear on the Unity card is kind of saying, don't be frightened by what's ahead. This is a time for you to grow. This is a time for you to learn. It's a time for you to grow spiritually, to experience things. And it might be saying to you, if you are in that energy of the Eight of Swords and you're worrying, find a mentor, find someone to help you, to teach you, to kind of guide you on your path. Sometimes when we're doing something and we feel very alone, can really help us to have someone kind of on our side, you know, like a teacher or someone that we kind of respect and that has knowledge that we can learn from. So that's the Unity card for today, and that's the story that the tarot is telling us. I'm just going to pop down a oracle card. I'm just going to show you the back of these beautiful new cards, just because I think they're so pretty, so pretty. As I say, there's an unboxing video where you can have a proper look at those cards. But I just love them. I think they're really beautiful. I like the animals. I've quite a connection with animals, so it's they're quite an appropriate deck for me. So let's have a little look and see what the oracle cards have to go with this nice little pair of cards we've got here. And here we have it again, the anxiety card. So there's that energy with us, okay? Had an anxiety card, I think we had it yesterday or the day before. So if there are things that are causing you anxiety, and it's interesting because I think the card we had that went with that was the Temple Path, which was the spiritual path again. So I feel like I'm reiterating a message that I gave you probably a couple of days ago, which is when we are anxious, then we can turn to spirit to guide us through, to guide us on our spiritual path, to help us not to be so anxious, to kind of be more in the moment. And when we're in the moment, you know, all we have is right now. What might happen in the future might or might not happen. What has happened in the past is gone and we can't do anything about it. So what we have is right now. So I feel like I'm looking at this Unity card, which is a bit like the Hierophant and a bit like the Temple Path that I had in the Oracle cards. The Unity card, the spiritual card, the Hierophant, all of that energy, that's the energy that can help you deal with whatever it is that is causing this kind of worry. So I will leave that with you for today. I'm going to pop these down here. I'm going to put them in a slightly different order just because I think that we'll put the positive healing kind of energy on the top. So that's what we're left with. So we're kind of putting that anxiety away and we're going to put that spiritual energy right on top of it and kind of use that spiritual energy to help us to process whatever it is that is giving us the bother. I will leave that with you for now. I'll be back again tomorrow to do another card for the day. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. Bye for now.